Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jamie Holmes. With many area schools going back this week, what should folks keep in mind? Well, our Maggie Hall has your back-to-school safety guide.
Corning Painted Post High School and Middle School welcomed first-year students today. Elementary school students will fill the classrooms of the district tomorrow, and Elmira City School District will begin school tomorrow as well. So what should students and everyone keep in mind as the new school year starts? Have a designated drop-off and pickup for your student, especially if it's their first year at school. This helps to create a consistent and comfortable schedule for them after the school day is over. Be conscientious of the information you put online through back-to-school photos. Talk to your kids about a safety plan and stranger danger.
Because we do know that emergencies come up and things come up, and it may not be the people that you're used to seeing every day and family members and things, but to make sure that there's a really a fail-safe plan, that if something, some emergency does happen, that kids are not just getting in the car with someone just because they say, mom and dad said I'm supposed to pick you up.
Be sure to additionally teach them about traffic safety. For drivers and pedestrians this school year, be sure to keep your eyes on the road and on the buses. Always stop for school buses whether they're loading or unloading. Be mindful of your surroundings when driving. Welcome back to school from Big Fox News to teachers and students. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Corning.
A new curator will be joining the team at the Rockwell Museum. Amanda Lett has extensive experience on a curatorial level, along with a PhD in American art. The Rockwell announced that Lett and the team at the Rockwell have already begun creating exhibitions for 2024 and are looking for new acquisitions. Lett will host a lecture in January of next year. The Elmira City School District will open one of its pools for Open Swim. Open Swim at Ernie Davis Pool begins September 12th. There is a $3 fee per drop-in. Hours run from 5 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. No registration is required to swim. New York State Fair's giant butter sculpture is no more. Crews tore down the 800-pound sculpture at the New York State Fairgrounds earlier this week. But while the butter sculpture is no longer in one piece, it will still be put to good use. The American Dairy Association says the butter was sent back to the Noblehurst Farms where it was produced. Farm workers there will then combine the butter with food waste to convert it into energy. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Ukraine's capital city. He is reaffirming U.S. support for the country as Russia unleashes yet another round of relentless attacks. Madeline Rivera has the latest from Washington.
In an unannounced visit, Secretary of State Antony Blinken met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky Wednesday.
Thank you so much.
He's the first senior U.S. official to visit Kyiv since Ukraine began its counteroffensive in June against Russian forces.
We are determined in the United States to continue to walk side by side with you.
Blinken is expected to announce a new aid package worth more than $1 billion. That includes at least $175 million in military support.
The U.S. has so far provided more than $43 billion in security assistance to Ukraine. The Biden administration wants Congress to approve an additional $24 billion, but that could face a fight here on Capitol Hill.
I'm here in large part at the behest of President Biden to reaffirm our commitment.
Just hours before Blinken's visit, Russia unleashed aerial attacks on the Capitol. The missiles were largely intercepted, but showered residential neighborhoods with debris. And the latest developments follow the recent announcement that Russian President Vladimir Putin may be asking North Korea for weapons. There are reports Kim Jong-un may travel to Russia this month for a summit with Putin. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Summer is coming to a close, and it's going out as Earth's hottest month on record. Scientists say we could see more summers like this one if human-impacted climate change continues. Greg Palcott has more.
Heavy rain pummeling parts of Europe this week, flooding streets and homes and causing multiple fatalities. The severe weather coming towards the end of a summer that saw deadly storms and record-breaking temperatures across the globe.
Even 99 degrees is still cooler than 105.
Scientists say this summer was the Earth's hottest on record. In a statement, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres warns, quote, The dog days of summer are not just barking, they are biting. Climate breakdown has begun.
We've got low pressure and everything is just staying where it is, hence the reason why we could see temperatures really in excess of 30 degrees Celsius for as long as 6 days consecutively.
According to the World Meteorological Organization, last month capped off summer as the hottest August ever recorded, with temperatures nearly 3 degrees warmer than pre-industrial averages. It also marked the second warmest month ever measured, just behind this past July. Scientists blame the heat on a combination of El Nino and the burning of coal and natural gas. And they warn the planet will only become warmer if human-related climate change continues.
It's driven by continued increases in concentrations of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. So the three main greenhouse gases, carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, they all reached record observed highs.
Scientists say so far that 2023 is the second hottest year on record, just behind 2016. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
New research unlocked a surge in cancer cases among young people. A study published in BMJ Oncology analyzed data from 1990 and 2019 and found a 79% surge in new cancer cases in people under 50. In addition to genetics, the findings stated a Western diet consisting of too much red meat and salt and subsequently not enough fruit and milk could be putting young people at risk. Alcohol intake and tobacco use also highlighted as cancer risk factors, as well as lack of exercise, high body mass index, and elevated blood sugar. Harvard University is officially 2023's worst school, at least for free speech. A recent survey by the Foundation for Individual Rights and Expression showed that Harvard received a 0 free speech ranking on a 100-point scale. The score is calculated based on factors including how strong the school's policies in favor of free speech are and how many professors, students, and campus speakers have been targeted for their speech. Researchers say Harvard's score was dragged down by the fact 9 professors and researchers faced calls to be punished or fired for what they had said or written, with 7 of the 9 professionally disciplined. Analysts polled 55,000 current students from 254 universities. Still ahead, your complete forecast. Plus,
recovery efforts on Maui and in Florida continue, but now victims are facing a new threat. I'm Marianne Rafferty with a look at how cyber criminals are trying to take advantage of hundreds of victims. Coming up.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Although we see that this time of the year, the signs typically lead to more fall-like temperatures, we're seeing that Mother Nature wants summer to hang on for just a few more days. Now, we still have those very uncomfortable conditions for the overnight, holding on to 68 for a low temperature, still under mostly clear skies, but there are some changes that are going to slide in. Now, we'll still have a warm and humid day setting up for our Thursday, but changes will start to be felt as we'll see more cloud cover to start off the day, and then we'll lead into storms that will start to emerge into the afternoon that could become strong to severe, and then we're not going to get a full push of relief until the weekend. So note that lingering into Friday, we're still going to talk about some warm and humid conditions, some thunderstorms, and then it's going to be more showery weather that we'll even see is going to continue to be pretty active into early next week, as an upper level low is going to continue to send through disturbances that will continue to force more of those fall-like conditions. So fall is on its way, but we're going to have to see a few more summer-like battles here before we get that relief. And what we see across the area is that we are watching that severe threat. So definitely feeling summer-like now when it comes to the heat, transitioning to stormy weather as we have that marginal to slight risk running across the area. What we'll note is that storms are going to be developing, and then they're going to be organizing as they work into eastern portions of Pennsylvania and New York. And as they do that, the biggest threat is going to be the potential that large hail as well as damaging wind gusts will be organized organizing, and wind could be pretty significant if we get the organization that is signaling itself. So we start off the day pretty clear, some passing cloud cover, but here's some of those storm chances even ongoing that will have some organization in that warm and unstable air mass. And there's that organization. As that line organizes, it could bring some of those stronger storms, and then isolated activity following it could bring some marginal hail potential, as well as still some damaging wind gusts. And then we'll watch some isolated potential into our Friday as we'll get that final push of some relief on its way in. So what we'll see is that we also have a very rich atmosphere that leads to those humid feelings is actually moisture within the air. So that within those storms can lead to some heavy downpours. Right now, looking at some decent numbers, 1/2 inch is definitely what we can take, especially with a dry start to September. That means that our soils can at least manage some moisture. Now note, if it comes in a short time period and we can bump those numbers up a bit, that could lead to some isolated flooding. So do keep yourself wary that flooding is always a potential with these types of storms. But we also note that that moisture is also going to lead to the humidity sticking around. So peak heat indices still trying to extend into those 90s, as we'll see temperatures not as much hit those 90s due to more cloud cover and the atmosphere being cooled down by some of those showers and thunderstorms into the afternoon. Still some stickiness will be felt on Friday with a chance for some storms, but then the weekend is going to bring some cloudiness, which will gradually bring us that cooling, but keep us under some of that wet weather.